If you guys have been around the channel for a bit, you'll know that I've been reviewing a ton of the Five Nights at Freddy's figures by Jazwares, and we've just been getting a ton lately, and that's including some from Jazwares Vault. Specifically here, we're going to be taking a look at Bonnie and Shadow Bonnie. I'll talk about the naming here in a bit. It's a little weird. First, like I mentioned, this is a Jazwares Vault exclusive, so you can see it has a golden sticker here, and the packaging style is different compared to the normal Endo Series packaging that you can see right here. It is ever so slightly smaller because it doesn't have a shelf tag since these aren't released at retail stores. It does show that the eyes glow in the dark. You can get a good look at everything that's included from the front window. You can see what's included in the box, as well as this is wave 2 of the Endo series. Interesting that this is included as part of that. And yeah, let's get it open. I'm not going to spend too long on Endo 01 here since he's been released a bunch of times and there's not too much different. There are a few things I wanted to address though. The articulation's exactly the same as it's always been. You can see there's a really nice rustic sort of weathering pattern here. The original Wave 1 releases do not really have as good of detailing there. So they've been doing that really consistently lately on all of the Endos. I had complimented that on the Golden Freddy as well from Comic-Con. One thing that I thought was pretty interesting is just like the Wave 1 release of Bonnie, if you take the eyes out of the sockets, there are the red dots in there, just like the Withered Bonnie release. The original Freddy does not have that, so it's just exclusive to Bonnie as far as I'm aware. Interesting that they included that here since Withered Bonnie parts are not included in the package, but I thought it was worth mentioning regardless. And here is FNAF 1 Bonnie, a really good way for people to get this character if they didn't have an opportunity originally. This one is ever so slightly different from the original though. First though, I'm just gonna say that quality-wise, I'm a bit disappointed. It's not as good as the original. You can see that on the teeth here, there's some paint bleeding. I actually don't even know if that's intentional or not, but it looks a little bit sloppy to me. The color is ever so slightly different. We will get to that in a moment. There are no updates to posability or anything like I'd mentioned before, so really you're just kind of restricted to the legs. There's not much else anywhere else. But yeah, otherwise it's a decent enough figure of Bonnie. I think it could use a lot of improvements, and I hope that they retool it eventually with bent ears and a few fixed proportion things. But now for the main thing I wanted to talk about with Bonnie here is comparing him to the original. And here is the original Wave 1 release of Bonnie. Don't mind the eyes, I swapped them out with Golden Freddy's. But yeah, you can see that on the original, he's very distinctly a desaturated shade of purple. And on the new one here, it's distinctly more blue, kind of more indigo looking. Now, I know Bonnie's color is a hot topic of debate, has been for like 12 years. I am a purple Bonnie truther, so I prefer the original, but this is still accurate to some source material. You know, this isn't quite as pale as the movie version of Blue Bonnie. It's kind of reminding me more of FNAF VR, but this screams more FNAF 1 to me, this one on the right here. But yeah, so they are technically different, so if you're a completionist and you are wondering, this is a separate version. And here is the other figure that the box refers to as Shadow Bonnie, and I'm going to rant about the name in a while here, but yeah, first impressions, this is really interesting. You can see there's a lot of speckling and sort of a purple and blue mix into the armor plate. Oh, Golden Freddy just fell in the background there. But yeah, it's not one-to-one with how this design looks in FNAF Help Wanted. You guys might be more familiar with this character as the name Neon Bonnie. It still does look a lot like the in-game model. Part of me wishes it had the black endoskeleton that was included with Hard Mode Freddy, Midnight Freddy in the Comic-Con thing. See, all the names keep tripping me up. I'm gonna have to get to that here very soon, but yeah, this is just a repaint of normal Bonnie, just with a really interesting paint job. So the posability and the articulation is exactly the same. You know, the mouth can open, but it can't look up or down at all, and the arms are really restricted. But yeah, I don't have much of substance to say about the paintwork other than just it looks interesting. It does have that semi-psychedelic look, just like Help Wanted. But yeah, let's get to some comparisons here, and then we'll segue into the name section. So here is the Shadow Bonnie next to the original FNAF 1 Bonnie from Wave 1. Here is Shadow Bonnie next to FNAF 1 Freddy. Here is Shadow Bonnie next to Hard Mode Freddy. And then here they are both next to Shadow Freddy. And then, for good measure, here is Shadow Mangle. Here's all of our Shadow-y-ish characters, and they all have different sort of appearances here. You can see that Mangle is purple with kind of looks to be an overspray of black. Then you have like a base speckled coat of blue and purple on Bonnie here with some black on top, I think. He's very glossy. Then we have just the all matte black Midnight Freddy, and then we have the purple FNAF 2 Shadow Freddy. So yeah, the way all these very similar characters are depicted, very different. And now I want to complain a bit about the naming. So these two figures in particular, you two are fine, but yeah, this one was called Midnight Freddy on the box. I've always referred to it as Hard Mode Freddy, but that's fine. It didn't bother me that much. This one being referred to as Shadow Bonnie is really strange because everyone usually associates Shadow Bonnie with RWQ, FSF, whatever. And, you know, that is a repaint of Toy Bonnie. But unfortunately, we did not get that here. And we know that Jazwares is aware of what Shadow Bonnie looks like because they just revealed him and they put him up for pre-order for the Jump Scare series. So I can only help but think that this was a Scott Cawthon decision to refer to Hard Mode Bonnie / Neon Bonnie as Shadow Bonnie, which is really weird because, I mean, okay, also from the same video game, Help Wanted, we have Mangle, who's referred to as Shadow Mangle. Okay, but then I don't think that Hard Mode Freddy is ever referred to as Shadow Freddy. I don't believe so. I could be wrong. Because then we have here's actual Shadow Freddy. And then, I don't know. It's really bizarre. I really wish that this was just called Neon Bonnie, Hard Mode Bonnie, Midnight Bonnie. It's just not Shadow Bonnie. It's very bizarre. Although that could be a nudge in the direction of something lore related, into the fact that in Help Wanted there are several characters in the hard mode referred to as Shadow, but then others are not. I kind of want to make a video theorizing about that, but that is its own separate topic. But yeah, here is all of the quote-unquote Shadow animatronics next to each other, and they are all very different. I just wanted to take a moment to complain about that. And yeah, back to Shadow Bonnie here. I really do hope that this naming thing doesn't mean that we won't get RWQ, because I do really want to see that, especially to pair with Shadow Freddy. But yeah, this was kind of a strange choice to pair in with the package in the 2-pack. I'm not upset about it. I guess I'm just confused, but they've been doing a lot of really weird niche stuff, FNAF AR, FNAF VR. I kind of wish they would stick more to the core series of games from the original 1 to 6, but that's just personal preference. That's really all I got to say about this 2-pack. It's all right. It retails for $30, I believe, which is okay. It's $5 more expensive than the retail price on a normal Endo series, and it also you don't get free shipping unless you spend $50 on Jazwares Vault. So essentially, this is a $40 Endo series release when the normal ones are $25. Very similar to how GameStop has them listed at $40. It kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth personally, but what can you do? If you don't have the original Bonnie, I would definitely recommend getting this one. Otherwise, though, it doesn't do that much to stand out other than this weird guy here. But yeah, that's really all I got to say. I do have 2 more FNAF reviews, and then I'll go back to my normal content. If you guys made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.